Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the MarketSite studio, we have Merav Ozair. She's a global leading blockchain and cryptocurrency expert. We're going to learn what a Finfluencer is and the decisions that you need to make before investing in any of the products or services that they are pushing. It is great to see you, Merav, and this is just such an important time to talk about this when you think about influencer culture, what Finfluencers are and how they're impacting, whether it's, traditional culture or the finance culture. So explain to us on a high level what an influencer is, and more specifically what a Finfluencer is.
Yeah, I know. These days, you have like every word is attached to influencer. You have farmer influencer, and like everything that you have an influencer. So, in generally speaking, an influencer is someone who has some kind of authority or knowledge. That's, like when you think in general terms, in this space, and then they in specific recognition, then, they have a following, people of audience, to follow them, and etc. But, in this day and age, we have a new breed, which is called social media influencers. So you have all of those, that have their following and post on all kinds of social media. Today it's TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. I think TikTok is now more prominent because this is where the Gen Z are going. And it is more popular with Gen Z, by the way. So that's influencers who have the influence. And today, influencer is everywhere. It's about everything. People follow them for every little thing, and they follow what they do and what they say and what they advise. And brands, picked up on that. And they said, they have all these millions of followers. Maybe we should, kind of recruit them. And they're being compensated, whether with products or money, to promote. There's some brands, and we don't even know, because if they don't tell us, that they're being paid for this promotion, we think that they really like the product and really, which is false. And I'll explain that to you when I give you examples when we get to that. So, so this is in general, and we saw that, especially there were two surveys that I got a little bit alarmed about, but this is our generation, the Gen Z, and it's going to even increase more. There was a survey by Census Wide, and they showed that more than a quarter of Gen Z, they said they trust influencers, advice more than trust a review of a product. It's even worse when we're talking about financial services. So TIA, TIA is a big company. They did also their own research and own survey, and they showed that a third of this Gen Z, they trust, social media and celebrities for financial advice. This is crazy, in my mind, because, why is it? So Finfluencer are all those who are giving advice and promoting all kinds of financial products.
See, but this is what I don't understand, Merav, because before I was in media, I was in trading, and we had to be licensed for everything to talk about products with public investors and so forth. I work for an exchange. We're highly regulated, and it is baffling to me that people can go on social media as an influencer, talk about specific investment advice, refer a specific product, and they're not licensed. You can make the same argument for regular influencers that are pushing a certain kind of either diet tea or some sort of pharmaceutical. These are not licensed individuals. So how is this able to happen?
Exactly. This is why, there's no regulation or some laws against influencer, but it's crazy when, why I'm saying that, I'm mind-baffled about that when it comes, to Finfluencers, because the financial industry, and you just mentioned that, is highly regulated. You cannot and should not give any financial advice if you're not licensed. You have to be a licensed advisor in order to give financial advice. You cannot promote anything, you cannot say anything, you cannot advise. You have to have this license. Most of these influencers are not. Kim Kardashian, gave advice for, on Instagram, on their Instagram channel, she promoted Emax, and it went completely to nothing, very quickly. Right. So people lost the money, but she was paid for this advice, right? She was for this promotion, and she didn't disclose that, and therefore, the SEC sued her, and fined her for over $2 million for that. And I think this is good. She shouldn't have done that. And what does she know about finance? And so you cannot do that. If you're not a financial advisor, you cannot do that. And on top of that, if you are getting paid for something, you must disclose that. And most of them don't do that. There was another one who didn't do that. I think she's called like the crypto astrologer, and her name is Miran Altman or something like that. And she also got, she was promoting the Celsius, and we know what happened to Celsius. And she said, "Oh, Celsius is my home. This is the best place, to buy." And I don't know.
Is it because they're not working for a regulated entity? I'm certainly not a legal expert, but like I work for Nasdaq. I know what, the regulations are.
Exactly.
I know. Is it because they're not working for a regulated entity?
Yeah, they are individuals who can do whatever they want, and they're getting paid. This is why all these companies, all these brands are going after them and want the promotion. If let's say Kim Kardashian's, if it's you and I, working for a company and it's a regulated company, they will not allow me to do that because I have to abide by that. But they don't even know what the regulations are. I'm sure that she doesn't know. I mean, Miran Altman, I was completely blown away when she said that she was interviewed about what she did, and she said, "Well, my my ad for Celsius is not different than a fashion ad." And
yeah.
I mean, how can you? It's just false. How can you equate, this financial advice to buying a shirt?
Right. Well, I mean, I guess that's something that we need to think about as regulation evolves and so forth. And not saying it's not their fault, they didn't know whether it's ignorance or not. It's just a matter of the industry catching up with how people are digesting their advice. So what should investors do as it relates to financial well-being and Finfluencer advice and endorsements?
Right. So I think that, I believe that eventually the regulators will come in and say, you cannot promote, some kind of financial product without, doing XYZ. But before we get there, I think that the individuals, each and every one of us, has to protect ourselves for our financial well-being. First of all, check, are they financial advisors? Do they have a license? Do they have a certificate? If they don't, stay away from that. That they're just, saying something, and even if they're not even disclosing that they're promoting it, most likely they're promoting something that they're getting paid. So this is already a red flag. More than that, ask for the data. If they're telling you, oh, it's the best investment and and you're going to give you like 100% or 1,000%, show me the data.
And also make sure you know where the data is coming from.
Exactly.
So it's not biased.
Exactly. So and do your due diligence yourself. I mean, don't trust anybody. Don't trust even a financial advisor. I mean, trust yourself. Do your due diligence like any investment. Don't go after because that celebrity is a billionaire. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a billionaire tomorrow.
Yeah.
So probably not. And keep records. Keep records. Who did that? What the information? So if anything happens, like what happens now with FTX, you have information to show you that you invested with this so and so, that, so you can maybe get some I don't know consultation.
But all comes back to due diligence and doing your research, Merav. Appreciate the insight as always.
Pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on Trade
And
Talks.
happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays to everyone, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.